Hello, this is the History for All Ages channel, and today we are going to look at the ideas about the cause of disease and illness from around 1 to 1500. This content is designed for GCSE history students studying medicine in medieval England. 1 to 50 present, more specifically the Edexcel board. The first thing we need to look at for the medicine topic is the religious and supernatural explanations for the causes of disease. The first one is more obvious for the time period. This one is the belief that disease and illness was a punishment from God for sin. There was a lack of scientific knowledge at this time, so people believed that they would get ill if they had committed a sin, or if there was a mass strike of illness, they believed it was a punishment for a sinful society. This was very heavily perpetuated by the church, as if people believed that sin caused illness and disease, they were more likely to participate frequently in giving the church tithe. This also meant that when people recovered from illness, they could claim it was a miracle and only happened because of prayer. Leprosy was commonly used to show this. Leprosy was spoken about multiple times in the Bible and was shown as a punishment for sin. Leprosy was a skin disease that led to paralysis and death. It made the body come out in boils and ulcers. There was no cure, so people who had it was banished. The belief that you could catch leprosy via the air showed that there was some idea about how some illnesses were spread. Just not this one, as leprosy was spread from close contact. The next one is astrology. Astrology was seen as a supernatural explanation for the cause of disease. When looking at patients, physicians would look at star charts to help diagnose disease and illness. In medieval England, they believed that when somebody was born and when they fell ill helped figure out what illness they had. However, this was usually frowned upon by the church because they believed it was too close to trying to predict the future. The next thing we need to look at in regards to medicine in medieval England is the theory of the four humours. This theory was made popular by Hippocrates and later by Galen. Hippocrates was a Greek physician in 5th century BCE. He believed that noting down his findings was important, and he found that the four humours theory fitted with his findings. Galen was a physician in the 2nd century CE from ancient Rome. Galen was the one who came up with the idea that to stay healthy you need to balance Hippocrates' theory of four humours. So what are the four humours? Hippocrates believed the body had four humours which made the body healthy. These were blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. So the belief was that if one of the humours became unbalanced, you would get ill, and to combat that illness you have to rebalance the humours. For example, if you had a temperature and your face was bright red, it was believed that you had too much blood. And then if you had a cold, they believed you had too much phlegm. We will talk more about the four humours in a later video. For now, let's move on to the next theory for a cause of disease and illness. Miasma. People in this time period believed miasma, or bad air, caused disease. While they are not right with this theory, it is not far of the truth that germs spread through the air and cause diseases and illnesses, but this is not found out for hundreds of years. So Hippocrates and Galen both believed in the theory of miasma. People believed a nice-smelling home was a sign of a clean soul, and a dirty home was a sign of sin and corruption of one's morals. We will again talk about miasma more throughout the ages. So why did people of this period believe in these theories? The main reason was the church. The church at this time was the main cause for the spread of information. The church followed Galen's views so they publicly supported the idea of miasma and the four humours. Many people in England at the time were illiterate, meaning they could not read or write. The church was also the main people who did have this ability. People at this time did not have access to books, and even if they did, they could not read them. The last thing we will talk about today is the lack of alternatives. There was no scientific evidence to suggest this theory was wrong or that there could potentially be another theory. The human anatomy was still very unknown to people at this time, as dissections were uncommon. So physicians didn't really understand the workings of the inside of the human body. This concludes today's video. We will continue with this topic very soon. Goodbye for now.